All right, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the red dot mounted on the rear ring of your one-piece scope mount. So a lot of folks have asked a ton of questions about this. I've had some unfounded criticism that's actually pretty funny. So I'm making this video for you guys to do a little bit of education, but also for me to be able to just drop a link into the comment when someone again asks, hey, why is your red dot in the back? Shouldn't it be in the front? So the first thing I think is that a lot of people are mounting their optics incorrectly to their rifle. And by that I mean they buy their optic, they buy their mount, they buy their red dot and its accessory cap, they put it all together, and then they stick it on the gun. That's incorrect. What you need to do is mount your magnified optic to the rifle, adjust eye relief to the shooter, and then put your red dot on top. So if I had done it the incorrect way, I would have the red dot in front, and then I would have this ocular end way too far back for me as the shooter. So you see here, even with this mount that is cantilever forward, I have it all the way on the most forward position on the receiver. So there's no further place to put this mount. Now I push the optic forward, and we see how close that forward ring and then, of course, the turrets are to each other. Looking at how far back this red dot mount hangs, this mount would not fit in this position. It simply would not have enough space. This end would be hitting into the turret up here, and you simply couldn't fit this in that position. So it goes in the rear. Now, in the rear, it doesn't interfere with my throw lever. It doesn't hit my turrets or anything like that. Like, this is where the mount fits. So that's really like a massive thing for the shooter. Like, do this in the correct order. Get the correct eye relief on your LPVO so you can use it correctly, and then put your red dot on. If you have the choice between the front and the rear, that's fine. But if you don't have enough room up front, don't be all upset and throw this thing out thinking that you can't use it because it has to be in the front. That being said, what are some of my advantages to having it in the rear? Well, first off, it doesn't really matter for the shooter. It being closer to you gives you more field of view through the optic, which makes it perceived to be bigger. It's a little bit easier to reach these brightness adjustments on the fly when it's further back. But in the end, forward, back, it doesn't really matter because as a red dot, it does have unlimited eye relief. Now, as far as adjusting your turrets, that's been a massive point from people, just like, hey, how are you going to dial? How are you going to adjust your point of aim? I think the guy meant point of impact. But that's neither here nor there. So first things first, this optic has a capped turret for a reason. You are not meant to be adjusting this constantly. You have a great Christmas tree reticle in this optic that basically can do the entire effective range of this caliber. So you shouldn't be just dialing constantly. You shouldn't be dialing constantly in any situation. So let's say you are shooting a match. You're shooting like a combat performance or a gas gun match. You look at the stage, you see that you have one target that's going to require 1 mil of hold, and one target that's going to require 2 mils of hold. So before you shoot, say you would add 1 mil, right? The way I would do this is my procedure, is I take the cap off, I put it in my pocket, and I can look down, and I can see the tick. I can see that it's at 0. Then I'll add my mil. Okay, so I'm at 1 mil. I shoot the stage. When I finish the stage, I can see that there's no cap on, and I will take that mil out. Okay, so we're 0 and 0. Now I put the cap back on, and I go about my day. There's no real scenario for you to be shooting in a competition and then reaching up here and adding clicks. That really isn't how it works, and it isn't how it works in any real world situation. You're down behind the gun, you look, you see something you want to engage, you do a quick range estimation, or you go off your card, a laser rangefinder, whatever it is, and you put that Christmas tree where it needs to be on the target and you engage. You don't find the target, reach up, add 1.3 mils, and then engage it. That's just It's not a good strategy. It's not fast. It's not effective. And it's a very easy way to get lost in your adjustments and not know where you are. Now, say I was behind the gun, right? Hypothetically, I'm like, you know what? I do want to do that. I want to make adjustments. I want to add, we'll say 0.7 mils. Well, how can I do that if I can't, look up and see the turret? It's called counting. So if I know each mil is, or each click is 0.1 mil, I can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I've added my 7 mils up. It's not a complicated process. People did that for years. That was a requirement at a lot of schools to be making adjustments on the scope without looking at it. So that is not an issue whatsoever. You don't need to be looking behind your optic and looking at the turret and making adjustments. Okay, so I really think this is an overblown issue. People don't understand how to mount their optic. They don't understand how to shoot in a match. They don't understand how to shoot in the real world, and they don't understand, how to utilize their reticle for maximum speed and efficiency. If you want to put your red dot forward, that's fine. It's great that you want to do that. But if you see it to the rear, you probably should not think that that person has no idea what they're doing. If you guys have any questions about this, let me know. I hope this helps, and I hope this informs some shooters in the future. Thanks.